Hey everybody, it's Anna and welcome back to my booktube channel, or if you're new here, welcome. It's really nice to have you on my cozy bookish corner of the internet. So, I went to Half Price Books the other day, which if you don't know, Half Price Books is a new and used bookstore in the United States that will give you cash for books, but also for other pop culture items like records, comics, board games, video games, all of that kind of thing. So one of my favorite things to do is if I have finished reading something and I don't want to like pass it on to, or I can't think of anyone in my life that I want to pass it on to desperately, a lot of times I will either donate my books or go sell them at Half Price Books. And then I like to use the money that I get from selling my books to get more books. So that's what I did. And I wanted to share with you the 4 books that I purchased most recently. 3 of these are new releases, or at least newly released in certain format, and then one of them is a backlist title. So we'll start with the backlist, which is I Never Promised You a Rose Garden by Manny Murphy, and this is a graphic memoir that is published by Fantagraphics Books, which is a local to me publishing house. It starts out as the author's kind of memoir of their teenage obsession with the actor River Phoenix, and then turns into an examination of the state of Oregon's history with white nationalism and white supremacy, and what the author's experience was like growing up in there as, I believe they're, genderqueer. I was gonna say, I knew they weren't cis, but I wasn't sure what the words were. And I got so lucky because when I opened the book up, I found a signed book plate in the middle, which I believe this is a self-portrait of the author. So that was a really fun find. I'm super curious to read this. It's written as diary entries with these like beautiful ink drawings on that, that paper you use when you're a kid in school learning how to write your letters. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. Now the next one is not a new book, but I think that this, is it just like in a new printing? I don't know why. I don't know why it says, oh, it says it's new because it's a new bestseller at Half Price Books. This is All About Love by Bell Hooks. I was like, this book is 25 years old at this point. How is it new? And I realized it was newly a bestseller at the store. So Bell Hooks is a Black feminist philosopher, was a Black feminist philosopher and writer. And I think that the only thing I read by her was I read Feminism is for Everybody in college, and I have read a ton of her stuff excerpted elsewhere. And if you're on any social media platform, but particularly Instagram, you probably have too. A lot of her stuff gets quoted on those like social justice Instagram post type things. But I wanted to actually sit down and read more of her books. So this is a discussion of what would happen, she says, if we would all love better if we used love as a verb instead of a noun. So it's about her kind of exploring what love is, what does it mean, just a very interesting odyssey into this word in particular. And I'm really looking forward to reading this. I also am going to try and get my husband to read some Bell Hooks this year because I think he would really like her work too. And I know he's never read her. So that's going to be great. Oh yeah, they gave me a coupon book because apparently if you're a teacher, you get coupons from them. So if you're a teacher and you have a Half Price Books in your area, go get their like teacher membership program. You just have to show your school ID and you can get a discount on your books. And then they also give you coupons. So next is, I think it's a semi-new release. It might be new out in paperback. Yeah. So published in 2023. And this is Grave Expectations by Alice Bell. This is a novel, a mystery novel that has been on my radar for a while, and I just love the concept behind this. It's this unconventional group of people, one of whom believes she is, I think, a medium, and then another who is really obsessed with true crime. And then they also have an ex-policeman and a cool teen, and they're all queer. So it just seems like a really fun mystery of trying to figure out. It's a murder mystery, but I think it's going to be relatively a cozy mystery. I don't think this is going to have a ton of like violence on the page, which I tend to not like in my mysteries. I used to read a lot of mysteries that were more or contain more violence, but then it also really devolved into a lot of sexual violence and misogyny in the book, and I'm just like, you know what, I don't want to do this. So I switched more towards reading cozies, but I think a lot of queer mysteries are seeing not a resurgence, a surgence, the initial surgence. We're having an initial surgence of queer mysteries that you can easily find. So I'm looking forward to this. And then next, I got super lucky that I got a signed copy of Martyr by Kaveh Akbar. It's kind of hard to describe what this book is about, so let me just read you the blurb. So, Cyrus Shams, the novel's hero, is a young man grappling with an inheritance of violence and loss. A mother whose plane was shot down over the skies of the Persian Gulf in a senseless accident, and a father whose life in America was circumscribed by killing chickens on a factory farm in the Midwest. Cyrus is a drunk, an addict, and a poet whose obsession with martyrs leads him into the mysteries of his past, toward an uncle who rode through Iranian battlefields dressed as the angel of death to inspire and comfort the dying, and toward his mother, through a painting discovered in a Brooklyn art gallery that suggests she might not have been who or what she seemed. Cyrus is guided on his journey by the voices of artists, poets, and kings, and delivered in the novel's unforgettable final pages to a world that teems with unforeseen wonders. That sounded really interesting. I wound up finding out about this book from my library's website, actually, because they had it listed as one of their new and on order books. But between the combination of getting some of the money off at Half Price Books and how long the waiting list was, I decided to actually purchase the book because it wasn't too bad. I think I wound up paying about $20 for the hardcover, which was down from the full price of $28. So I'd say that's a pretty fair trade-off. So that's the surprise Half Price Books haul. If you have read or are planning on reading any of these books, please let me know because I love to talk about those down in the comments below. And you will probably be seeing me talk about these in some upcoming reading vlogs. I'm getting ready to publish the January reading vlog as you are seeing this. And then we start reading February books, which is going to be fun. February is the month of my birthday. It's the month when we all really cross our fingers that spring is going to get here soon, even though it won't. It'll drag its feet and take its sweet time. But yeah, I'm excited for the month to come and for the reading month to come. I don't really have too many solid reading plans other than I have one particular Star Wars book that I'm going to read. Because I have been saying I'm going to read it for a long time, and I'm like, no, this is the month. I'm actually doing it now. And also continue the reading that I'm doing for my themed vlog about oceans and the sea. So if you would like to watch any of those or any of my other videos, do give me a subscribe. It's the best way to find out when I post new videos. And as always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.